Hello lovers, it is Valentine's Day weekend, which means it's time for me to torture myself again, because apparently that's what I'm into. I'm going to be doing a Read It or Unhaul It romance edition, and I already want to I am doing this mostly because I want these books out of my office, off of my shelves, and out of my life. My aim for this video is going to be to unhaul almost everything here. I anticipate that each book that I pull out of the wheel, I will get like 20 pages into, and then I'll DNF, unhaul, and continue on my merry way. The daunting thing here is that I have never DNF'd a book in my life, but I know that that's a flaw of mine, and I know that I should get better at it. Life is too short to not DNF, right? So I will be teaching myself how to DNF in this video. And these, for the record, are all of the unread romances that I own. I think that there are 14 here. Yeah, there are 14 here. The only unread romance books that are not here, that are not counting as a part of this challenge, are one Jodi Picoult book that I probably will never read, but my dad brought it back from a business trip for me, and he said that he saw a secondhand bookstore, thought of me, went in there, and bought the book thinking of me. Clearly, he doesn't know what I read. It's the thought that counts times 1,000, and that was just so sweet that I will never part with this book that he got me, even though I will probably never read it. The Jodi Picoult book, and also I have 5 Emily Henry books. I've never read an Emily Henry book, but I have 5 of them, which feels like it could be its own challenge in itself someday, maybe like next year, Valentine's Day, who knows? But I'm not counting those here. So if I pull out an Emily Henry book, it's gonna go right back inside. Also, if you'll notice, there are 3 Bridgerton books here. I've read the first one. This is 2, 3, and 4. If I pull out any Bridgerton book, I'm going to read the second one. I'm not insane, so I will be reading these in order, or hopefully trying to read the second one, hating it, and then I can get rid of all of them. So, that being said, let's spin for our first book. Where did I put the key? Okay. I've also missed my Read It or Unhaul It Raffle Drum Daughter a lot. I haven't done... I think it was November. I think it's been like 2.5 months since I last did a Read It or Unhaul It video. Because December is always full of like end of the year content, and then January is always reading booktubers' best books of the year, at least for me. By the way, that video has been pushed back a little bit, but it should be coming out next week. Okay, what color is romance? Light pink. I'm not really nervous with this video. I just don't want to do it. But that is part of the fun of Valentine's Day videos for me, I guess. At least it's not as bad as last year. Like last year I had to read 3 whole ass romance books. That was actually torture. What's the closest light pink? That one. The map that leads to you. So the first book I will be reading, or probably reading 20 pages of, and then DNFing, and then getting it out of my life forever, is The Map That Leads to You by J.P. Moninger. I just watched the, oh god, is it Netflix? Oh, Prime. I just watched the Amazon Prime movie adaptation of this book, and the movie wasn't good, so I don't have high hopes for the book. This is about, wait, can I remember? This is about 2 20-year-olds who meet each other on their post-college Euro trips, and they fall in love, and then something bad happens? A chance encounter on an overnight train to Amsterdam brings 2 souls together with a magnetic force. Jack could not be more different than Heather. Jack makes his own rules. Heather follows everyone else's. Jack is mirroring the path of his grandfather's journals through Europe. Heather likes a carefully constructed itinerary. Jack wants her to stay with him in Europe. Heather wants him to come with her to America, where her career is set for her post-college life. Ew, boo. Heather, tomato, tomato, tomato. But Jack has a secret that could change everything, and Heather's world is about to be shaken to the core. I already know the secret going into because I watched the movie. Wow. Who wants to make bets on how long... Oh, who wants to make bets on how long I last in this book? That's interesting. This is like, this is 390 pages. I bet I'm going to last 30 pages. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna set a rule for myself. No matter how badly I want to stop at the beginning, I have to go at least 30 pages in each book that I pull out of this raffle drum to make it more interesting, and also so that I'm like giving everything a chance. giving everything a chance. Also, I was supposed to start this earlier today, but now it's 6:15 p.m. and I'm just starting. So I guess I'm gonna do this through tonight and then also all of tomorrow. And then hopefully I'm able to get this up on Valentine's Day, but if not, on the 15th. If I can get through all of these, if I can read 30 pages of each of these books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I can read 300, oh, I could do that easily. If I read 30 pages of each book, not counting these two Bridgertons, that's 360 pages. I could very easily get through all of these books over the next 36-ish hours. Oh my god, I really could get rid of all these. I'm procrastinating at this point because I don't want to start reading this book. So I should just go. I should just read the fucking book. Also, it's gonna feel weird to DNF a book for the first time. No, go. Stop. Stop. Shut the f up. Stop procrastinating. Let's go read. Let's go read. I've only gotten through page 1 of the prologue, and I've had to read the same paragraph 3 times because my eyes are glazing over. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can do it. I can f***ing do. Oh, why have I done this? Okay. I can do this. Time out! Time out! Look what that says! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! We hit 10,000. We hit 10,000. Oh my god, we hit 10,000. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, wait, calm down. I know that in the context of life, and especially how hard life is and life feels in a lot of ways, I know that this really doesn't mean a whole lot, if anything at all, but I am really proud of what we have here, and I want to say thank you to every single one of you 10,000 fucking people. That's insane. Imagine being in a room with 10,000 people. If I think about it too much, I might have a panic attack. That's crazy. Happy Valentine's Day to all 10,000 of my beautiful lovers out there. I need to go. I need to go be off camera for a minute. I'll be back. I'll be back soon with my thoughts on the map that leads to you. Thank you. Okay, I made it through 30 pages. It's leaving. I'm getting rid of her. I took notes. Before I go into my thoughts about the 30 pages that I did read, I need help because I've never DNF'd a book before. So technically this is my first DNF ever, which feels crazy. But when you DNF a book, are you supposed to count it as read? I can't imagine that I'm supposed to count it as read after 30 pages. So do I just count it as nothing? Can someone tell me the politics behind DNFing books, please? Just let me know what I'm supposed to do now. Do I mark it as something else on Goodreads? I want it to fit neatly into some kind of section in my mind palace, but I don't know what to do. So someone else tell me what to do. Anyways, the first 30 pages of this book, there was a quote on like the very first page. This girl, the main character, what the f is your name? Heather. Heather has just graduated college, and she's talking about a photo that her mother took of her and her 2 best friends at college graduation. And she's talking about being old and looking back on this photo and knowing that in that instant you are on the verge of everything. And all I could think about was how much I wish that this was a literary fiction book about a woman on the precipice of her life going to find herself in Europe. That's the book I wish I was reading. That's a book I would read all the way through. Unfortunately, this book is about Jack, your one great love, which blows knowing what I know because I've watched the movie version. If this was literary fiction, I would eat it up. I'm just saying, I went through these whole 30 pages wishing that this was just a literary tale of a woman finding herself through travel, like Anthony Bourdain style. And by the way, if you have any recommendations for that, for a woman finding herself through travel, please let me know. Anything that reminds you of Anthony Bourdain, but I want you to be really specific about that. I take Anthony Bourdain very serious. I have an Anthony Bourdain tattoo. That man is a saint. That's a god in my life. So if you come to me and you tell me about a book that reminds you of Anthony Bourdain in any way, of a woman going through the world Bourdain style, you better be fucking serious. Do not play with me about this. I know I got really intense there, but I'm not going to apologize. That's how I'm serious. I am serious about this. Don't bring me shit and tell me it is Bourdain-like. I don't appreciate that. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I watched Heated Rivalry last night, the first few episodes, and now I keep talking like Ilya. The Russian accent keeps popping out when I don't mean it to, so just ignore that. Also, speaking of Heated Rivalry, I did have the thought of, hey, should I read the Heated Rivalry book? And do not worry, I shut that thought down immediately. So, you know, I'm not gonna do it. Anyway, back to The Map That Leads to You. Like I said, this book is about Jack, your one great love. And she talks about wanting to know where he was in the exact instant that she graduated, at the exact instant that their lives turned towards each other. This book is for the Taylor Swift invisible string girls. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, I'm not saying it in a positive way, just very neutrally. This is for people who love Taylor Swift's song Invisible String. So if that's you, maybe go read this book or watch the movie version. I would read this if it was literary fiction. I also would read it if it was a memoir from the point of view of her friend Amy. So Heather is on a Euro trip with her two best friends that she just graduated from college with. Amy is a hoe. Complimentary. Amy seems to be slutting around Europe, and I would read the shit out of a book that's just Amy telling me about her exploits while she's been slutting around Europe. In the opening scene, she meets a Polish stranger on a train and then fucks him in the bathroom of the train. Incredible, iconic. And it sounds like this is not the first time that she fucked a stranger on the train. So that's, yeah, I do wish that this was either literary fiction or like an erotic fictionalized memoir. That's what I would rather have than a doomed star-crossed lovers story. And speaking of doomed star-crossed lovers, Heather meets Jack on this train and they immediately start negging each other. I don't understand. This is so 20 years old. Like, this is such a 20, 21, 22-year-old thing to do. To meet a person that you think is hot and then immediately start insulting them, because that's flirting. It's not fucking flirt. Grow up. You don't need to meet a hot person and then immediately start negging them. Heather is not like other girls, and Jack is a manic pixie dream boy. She meets him when he decides that he's going to sleep on the luggage rack over her train seats. So he's sleeping up there. She's down here reading Hemingway on her iPad, thinking that she's better than everyone else. They are negging each other throughout the train ride. This is just genuinely the opposite of Before Sunrise. Before Sunrise is a perfect movie, and that's how you should want your meet cute in Europe to be. If you find a stranger to fall in love with on your Euro trip, you want it to be like Before Sunrise, not like The Map That Leads to You. And then the final straw came almost exactly on page 30. Page 24. I have mentioned in a video before that I hate it. It is a pet peeve when books say something about, I stuck my tongue out at him. He stuck his tongue out at me. I said that in a previous video. At least 2 or 3 people commented on that video and said, I do that in real life. I stick my tongue out at people. That's news to me. That is brand new information to me, that people are actually sticking their tongues out at each other in jest. So I apologize if I offended anyone in that video, but I still hate it. It's still the biggest pet peeve for me in books. And page 24, end of chapter 3, he stuck his tongue out. I stuck mine back at him. Bye. Unhauling number 1. Oh, doesn't it feel so good? Can you see that? This is our unhaul pile now. It feels nice to be getting rid of romance books. It would be nice to get Bridgerton, because hopefully I would hate it and then I can just get rid of 3 at once. Also, I did forget to tell you this, but when I first made my TBR jar fish tank, the other receptacle I was going to use to put the slips in was this gigantic vase. And someone in the comments said that it looks like an urn, and they were joking that it would be the TBR urn. Instead of this being a receptacle for anything that would come out, I have been using it as a receptacle for dead slips. So after I read the books that are in here, they've been going in here. So we can take The Map That Leads to You and we can toss her right into the urn. Thank you. We got like 15 slips in here so far from the other 2 read it or unhaul it videos. So that's nice. That's gonna be really satisfying to look at after a while. So let's see what our next romance book we will be trying is. That's the closest pink slip. No, that's orange. That's the closest pink. Okay, well that's an Emily Henry book, so I already said that those are not being counted here. So the next closest one is you. Love in the Wild, which we obviously read last year for Valentine's Day. So Love in the Wild gets to go in the urn. The TBR Graveyard. That spin had bad juju to it. We're gonna spin again. Okay, who's next? Who's closest? Get back in there. You are definitely closest. Who are you? Okay, another one that I've already read. You're gonna have to trust me. I'm not coming up there every time. The Time Traveler's Wife, a book I have already read. To the TBR Graveyard. Shall we spin again? I don't see any. God, I have so few romance books. You. People We Meet on Vacation. Another Emily Henry that is not eligible. Happy Place. Another Emily Henry. Give me something eligible, please. The Light We Lost. The f is The Light We... Oh, this is a book that I have already unhauled. The Light We Lost. Okay. I don't even see any romance slips. Here we go. Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. There you are. I genuinely have no idea what this book is about. After a wild bet, gourmet grilled cheese sandwich, and cuddle with a baby goat, Alexis Montgomery has had her world turned upside down. The cause, Daniel Grant, a ridiculously hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than her and as casual as they come. The complete opposite of sophisticated city girl Alexis, and yet their chemistry is undeniable. While her ultra-wealthy parents want her to carry on the family legacy of world-renowned surgeons, oh my god, poor girl. Alexis doesn't need glory or fame. She's fine with being a mere ER doctor. And every minute she spends with Daniel in the tight-knit town where he lives, she's discovering just what's important. Yet letting their relationship become anything more than a short-term fling would mean turning her back on her family and giving up the opportunity to help thousands of people. Bringing Daniel into her world is impossible, and yet she can't just give up the joy she's found with him either. With so many differences between them, how can Alexis possibly choose between her world and his? I just blacked out reading that. I could not fucking tell you. Her parents want her to be a surgeon, but he lives in a small town. Is that what I just read? What is... Okay, the sooner I start, the sooner that this can be over with. I'll see you in like 20 minutes. On the very first page, the girl does remind me of me a little bit. She just swerved off the road and now her car is stuck in a ditch because she swerved so that she wouldn't hit a raccoon. The week after my high school graduation, I caused a 3-car pileup because I was trying to not hit an owl. I totaled 2.5 cars so I wouldn't hit this owl. So I fear she's at least a little bit like me. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try and fly through this as quickly as possible. Okay, my 30 pages in Abby Jimenez prison are over, and whereas with the first book, I took so many notes, with this book I took like 3. This book was just so nothing to me. I do think it would make a great rom-com movie. I know that I don't like romance books. I love a good rom-com film, so hopefully someone adapts this at some point. So pretty much what has happened in this book so far is this woman, this Meredith Blake-like figure who is driving a fancy Mercedes and is wearing fancy clothes and a lot of diamond jewelry. She gets stuck in this ditch because she swerves to avoid a raccoon. A tow truck is not coming. She gets saved by a hot guy with a dog who just happens to be driving past. They accidentally go to the same restaurant, bar, diner for dinner afterwards, meet each other again and have a one-night stand. And then she runs away from the one-night stand. That's pretty much all that we have so far. My thinking, my very first thought, the woman in what is your name? Alexis. She's 37 and she's single for the first time in 7 years. Her best friend is also single for the first time in many years. What they need is these girls' summer vacation Euro trip. They are grown-ups with grown-up money. They're both newly single. They need to go to Europe together and f strangers on trains and meet random men in Amsterdam and fall in love with them. They need their summer. Aside from that, I really have so nothing to say about this book. There's nothing wrong with it. It is just so uninteresting to me and the way my anti-romance book brain works. I do understand why people would like this though. I do not judge people who like romance books. I get it. I was having a fine time reading it. I feel so very neutral about it. I've read romance books before that I f***ing hated. Clearly, you saw it last year. This was not one of them. I was just so deeply neutral. And neutral is not something that I want to feel about the books that I read. Oh, also on page 30, her brother randomly marries Lady Gaga, so there's that. Our second unhaul of the video. Let's get a round of applause. Also, I should have done this at the beginning of the video, but I forgot. So let me tell you right now what books we have here that are possibilities. We already got Part of Your World in the Map That Leads to You. There's also The Nightmare Before Christmas, The Bridges of Madison County, Nights in Rodanthe by Nicholas Sparks, the guy who did The Notebook, who also blurbed The Map That Leads to You. There are 3 Bridgerton books here. The Pairing by Casey McQuiston, The Next Together by Lauren James, which I think might have a time travel aspect to it, but don't quote me on that. I'll see when we get to it. The Love Hypothesis, an Allie Hazelwood book. Magnolia Parks, who I have heard that the author, Jessa Hastings, has been going through a little bit of controversy lately, so I can't wait to get rid of that one. A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall, and Lizzie and Dante by Mary Bly. These are the options that we still have left. So let's see what the next spin brings us. So we have Part of Your World going into the TBR graveyard. Thank you for your service. Let's see what we get next. Okay, what is closest to the top? It's you. You are right there. What? Oh, that's dark pink. There are no close light pinks. Oh, you. What does that say? Magnolia Parks. I said I was excited to get to it so that I could get it the f out of here, so I guess I got what I asked for. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. Oh, the cover of that feels really nice. It's very soft. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? There's no synopsis to tell me what the, okay. From what I remember from hearing other people talk about it, I think this is like more toxic Gossip Girl. Am I right? It's about really toxic people who keep being in relationships and then out of relationships with each other. That's it, right? God damn, this is the ugliest cover I've ever seen in my fucking life. That is hideous. Okay, well, like I said, the sooner I start, the sooner it can be over. This one's 500 pages. Why are people writing 400 and 500 page romance books? Okay. Okay, let's do it. Hi. Hi. You want to say hi? Oh, hey. Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, I hated this. I hated this. I cannot explain to you how much I fucking hated this. This was like British Gossip Girl if Gossip Girl was bland, boring, went absolutely nowhere, took 4 pages to say a single line or examine a single thought. Magnolia and BJ are like Chuck and Blair, but with no personality. Their only personality traits are that Magnolia is rich and insecure and spineless. BJ is slightly less rich, but still rich, and also a whore. BJ's nickname is Beej, which I can't take seriously. Magnolia basically only hangs out with boys, which is a red flag. And speaking of red flags, okay, good work, good job. And speaking of red flags, there's nothing that I hate more than men doing that big macho violent thing where they go, I'm gonna beat up this other man for your honor. Off. Sit down. If anyone is beating up that man, if a man offends me in some way, if he insults my honor, God forbid, I'm beating him up. You don't need to stand in between us. You don't need to stand in front of me. Also, I don't think that Jessa Hastings is a good writer. I don't think that this is a well-written book. I also spent like half the time reading this going, what the f are we, genuinely what the f are we talking about? What are you saying? What do you mean? I hated this book from page 1. This was Gossip Girl without the charm of Gossip Girl. Also, we have casual racism going on. BJ is describing Magnolia's dad, and he said, "Do you know what it's like to date the daughter of a big, burly black guy?" What do you mean by that, BJ? What do you mean by that? Why is it scarier to be dating the daughter of a big, burly black guy than it would a big, burly white guy? Care to elaborate? Share with the class. Anyway, obviously Magnolia Parks is leaving my house. This is going so well so far. We're 3 for 3. I have officially DNF'd 3 books in my entire life. And I have brought everything up. Here. It was really cold in my office, so I brought the wheel up and I brought the stack of books up. So let's see what we're doing next. Can you see her here well enough? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I just flung the keys out somewhere. Okay. Oops. Who's the closest to the top? You're gonna have to trust me here. I promise I'm not lying. Oh, is that orange? Wait, no, that's pink, right? So this is the book of 2 ways. This is the Jodi Picoult book from my father that I told you I'm already resigned to never reading and never getting rid of. Man, there are so few light pink slips. Oh, there we go. Oh, next is Jane, which is a book that I've already read. That's one of the romance books that I actually have liked. It is the Tarzan retelling. I thought it was a great book about 10 years ago when I read it. I cannot vouch for it anymore. I will have to reread it to figure that out. Because the Zoomie's upstairs, she's freaking out. God, there's like nothing left in here. Oh, here's one. Nope, the 7-year slip. We already read that one. Okay, bless you. Wow. Good, we're clearing this thing out. Hi, Ego. You're looking really creepy right now. No. Miss You is one that I have already unhauled. Okay, let's spin this again, because I can't find any more light pink slips. Something. Ah, finally. The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. This one has sprayed edges and it's signed. Jesus Christ, Egg. How did I wind up with a signed copy of a romance book? You gonna stay here with me while I read? Theo and Kit have been a lot of things. Childhood best friends, crushes, lovers, and now estranged exes. After a brutal breakup on a flight to their dream European food and wine tour, they exited each other's lives. Oh, is this gonna be just like The Map That Leads to You, except with exes instead of strangers? Time apart has done them good. Kit graduated as the reigning sex god of his pastry school. Oh wait, this is gay. Theo has a long roster of lovers. Kit graduated as a sex god. When Theo suggests a friendly wager to see who can sleep with their hot Italian tour guide first, Kit is game. In fact, why stop there? Why not a full-on European hookup competition? But sometimes a taste of everything only makes you crave what you can't have. Alright, so maybe this is what I was asking for with The Map That Leads to You. Because in that, what I wanted was a fictionalized memoir from Amy of her just f***ing around Europe. So maybe that's actually what this is gonna be. I'll let you know when I figure it out. I once again have such little to say about this book. I had high hopes for a minute because I thought that the book was sending me signs, some kind of weird psychic sign, because they mentioned Steve Irwin and then 2 sentences later they referenced Anthony Bourdain. And then through the rest of the chapter they kept referencing Steve Irwin and Anthony Bourdain, and those are my people. But it was not, in fact, a sign to me from the gods. If there was going to be a romance book that I liked, you'd think it would be a gay-ish book involving travel and food and European bus trips. But no, I so deeply do not care. So this will also be getting unhauled. So thank you so much for your service. If anyone wants to spoil these books for me, just so I know what happens in them, please do. I want to know why Kit left Theo. And also, if you want to spoil part of your world for me, just tell me like bullet points of what happens in part of your world, because I don't want to read it, but I want to know what happens. I need to go change my battery and then we're going to spin the wheel again. I really should stop. It's 1:45 a.m. now, so I should stop and go to sleep. I said that I was going to do the second half of this video tomorrow. I have just decided I don't want to do this tomorrow. I want to get this all done tonight. So I'm going to do this What have I done? I've done 4 so far. I'm gonna do 3 more books, and that'll be a nice even 7. So let's keep spinning. And then I don't have to do this tomorrow. I can do something enjoyable tomorrow. You're pink, but you're an Emily Henry. Who are you? I've already read The Paper Palace. It's one of the ones I actually like. I promise I'm not cheating. I'm just trying to find any light pink slips at all. My Name is Memory, another one of the romance books that I've read and I loved. Okay, it's fine, this is good. We are clearing out the slips that aren't supposed to be there anyways. Oh, there's light pink. Find Me, which is a book that I've already, wait, no. Find Me is the sequel to Call Me By Your Name, which I've already read. Oh, and there's Call Me By Your Name. Obviously, I've read that one. Finally! Alright, I got The Love Hypothesis, which means I am about to read the first 30 pages of my first ever Ali Hazelwood at 2 a.m. There she is. So wish me luck. I think that this is based on Star Wars fan fiction. Isn't this supposed to be Kylo Ren and Rey? She's a PhD candidate. She doesn't believe in love. Scientists require proof. She kisses the first man that she sees. The first man that she sees is Adam Carlson. Adam Driver. Okay. Fake boyfriend. Okay, let's get this over with. So I read my 30 pages and a little bit extra, but I'll explain that in a second. First of all, this book is hilarious. Not the dialogue or anything that Ali Hazelwood intended to do, but, and I knew this was coming, the I'm so tiny, I'm so huge thing is crazy. In the first 30 pages, there's literally 20 references just in the first 30 pages about how absolutely gargantuan this man is. His voice came from 10 feet above me. His hand was so large it could have enveloped my whole fist. Everything about him is huge. There's a whole paragraph on page 14. There's an entire paragraph about how gigantic this man is. I'm almost tempted to keep this just so I can read it to make a tally of how many times they reference how huge Adam is. So basically, Olive is a PhD candidate and Adam is a young hotshot professor. They basically have to fake date so that her best friend feels okay dating a guy that she went on a few dates with. So she convinces this tall, gargantuan, giant baby man to go along with this plan and have everyone think that they're fake dating. That's it. I did have to skip forward. This is the extra that I read. I know about the famous line, "He could fit her entire breast in his mouth." All of it. I have heard about that line so many times and I was like, I need to read it for myself. Guess what? I did. And then that led into a 25 page sex scene. It's a detailed, extended, intimate scene. And I know that a lot of people talk about in books like these how the sex scenes are cringy. I don't really care about that. I've never really met a sex scene that I had a huge problem with. I think cringiness is an intrinsic part of sex. If you are a person who has enough sex over a long enough period of time, you are going to do and say things that are cringy. It is inevitable. So it's a part of life. And so I've never really had an issue with like the cringe side of sex scenes. I don't really care that much. However, 2 things here. These people are scientists. They're scientists. And yet they are not in a committed relationship, but they are intimate without physical barrier protection. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word condom on YouTube or if they're gonna get mad at me, but physical barrier protection. And he releases inside. He doesn't pull out. His swimmers go up there. She says she's on birth control, but like, even if you're 100% spot on with your birth control is only effective like 97% of the time. And even though she's on birth control, either of you could have any kind of STI going on that you don't know about. You might be asymptomatic, but you can pass it on to the partner that you're with. You don't know each other. You're scientists. There should be a physical barrier protection between the 2 of you. So that's all I had to say about that. I will be passing her along to the next house where she will hopefully be loved more than she was here. It's now 3:37 a.m. I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna be done with this video. I have Egg and Murphy both sleeping next to me, and both of them every once in a while look over at me and they're like, Mom, what the f are you doing? Why are you still awake? Let's go to sleep. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'm reading STEM smut. We're gonna do one more book. Oh, that was a close one. One more book, if I can find another pink slip. Let's dig. Oh wait, nope, that's orange. Is that one? Did I find you? I did it. I found one more. This will be the last one that we do in this video. And it is Nights in Rodanthe, my first ever Nicholas Sparks book. Okay, final 30 pages, let's go. Hello, I need you to please disregard anything I said in the last clip. I have been struck down with a headache, probably because it's 4 a.m. and I've been filming this since 6 p.m. Obviously, I took breaks. It didn't take me 10 hours to read 150 pages. That means that Nights in Rodanthe gets to live another day on the bookshelves. As for the TBR Graveyard Urn, Magnolia Parks gets to go in there. Paper Palace. Pretty much everything except for Nights in Rodanthe, which goes back into the raffle drum. Love Hypothesis. Jane. The Pairing. Miss You is already gone. My Name is Memory. I read. Book Lovers. Right, the Emily Henry ones are staying in there. Call Me By Your Name. Find Me. Both in there. Hello. It's a nice collection we have in here now. There's like 25 slips. Ooh, okay, so we're done with episode 3 of Read It or Unhaul It, Romance Edition. We read, or at least started, 5 books during this video. And that would be The Map That Leads to You by J.P. Moninger, Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, The Pairing by Casey McQuiston, and The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. All 5 of these are being unhauled, so I would call this a very successful Read It and Unhaul It vlog. Sick. Technically, another Read It or Unhaul It video is coming soon. It will have a bit of a different spin on it. You only have to wait a few more weeks for that. I think like 2 weeks-ish. These are the books that have been saved for now. I wanted to clear off more of the bookshelves, but I guess getting through 5 is fine. I'm shocked that we didn't get any of the Bridgerton books. Wait a second. Where are the slips for the Bridgerton books? Wait, I couldn't find any of those in here. What the Okay, whatever. That's my problem for another day. These books are going back on the shelf. These 5 will be on Pango in a little bit. And if they don't sell on Pango in a few weeks, then I will be donating them to my local library. Thank you for being here with me. It is 4 a.m. I should go brush my teeth, wash my face, go to sleep, take headache meds. I hope you are having a wonderful week. I hope you're having a wonderful Valentine's Day weekend. Whether you are single, in a relationship, married, whatever your situation is, I hope you're having a good weekend. What else? Nothing else. I'm just procrastinating. I can't believe oh my god, I almost forgot that I hit 10,000 subscribers at the beginning of this video. God, I love you guys so much. I'm probably gonna cry about this again later. I love you. Oh my god, if you can hear me, if you can read the subtitle. Did I forget to say it in the last video? I think that I might have. If you can hear me, if you can read the subtitles, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I love you forever. Good night. I love slutty women. Cut that part. That's news to me. That was my birth control alarm. Let's carry on.